Well, hello there, and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. Last time we were continuing the Act 5 of Chapter 4 of the Archon Quest. Essentially, last time we were finally able to trap Farina. We got her trapped, and putting her on trial, in which we are trying to convict her of not being the Hydro Archon after giving a lot of evidence. I mean, honestly, it wasn't difficult. Come on. Farina hasn't really been acting like Nahida or like A or Morax, right? She hasn't really done, I guess Konasuli, I should say, not Nahida. But like, yeah, she hasn't really demonstrated her powers. So it's pretty obvious. So at the end here, you can see the scene. She sat back on her throne, defeated, crying. It's over, she lost. And then the Ortrice de Epiclase, or whatever it was called, spit out the little ticket, and it said that the Hydro Archon was guilty, and that their sentence was death. They had a death sentence, in which we were like, very strange. Hydro Archon getting a death sentence? Didn't we prove that Farina wasn't Hydro Archon, and why the death sentence? Huh? And a Fremine came in like a hero. All right, Arlecchino, don't touch him. He might be a bit late here, but don't touch him. He's a good guy, and he bought the last stone slate, which is what you see here. And then now we're kind of interpreting with Nivelette that okay, Hydro Archon, previous Hydro Archon, turn Oceanids into people. This is Celestia, this island above. Cast bad judgment, bad juju. Bad juju happened, cursed the people. And Farina, people around her, and then bam, Farina on throne. Basically, with this piece of information, yeah, it was basically the original sin, the sin that the previous Hydro Archon or current Hydro Archon, the before Hydro Archon did. And so now we have to reveal the events, the real events related to the prophecies on the prophecy slates, and we gotta verify the truths until this fountain charges all the way up. So indeed, I don't know what to expect, but let's do it. Prophecy slate number 1, the stone slate in the ruin showing the prophecy describing a history of the future. The first piece that was originally missing has been found by Fremine. Again, Fremine did good. Arlecchino, he may have been late, but don't touch him. Don't touch him. It seems to show the former Hydro Archon using divine power to turn Oceanids into people. Oceanids into people. Oceanids into people. Serial disappearance case? Fontaine can be dissolved by primordial seawater. Entrance seal forbidden zone. Wait, is this it? Is either Nivelette or Vache. So we're gonna do Vache first. I'm correct.
We know from the case of the serial disappearances of young women that Fontanians can be dissolved in primordial seawater. And the first stone slate tells us that long ago, the Hydro Archon used her power to turn Oceanids into humans. This might be the reason that Fontanians can dissolve.
Indeed, here is that when Vache got rightfully mind tortured. The stone slate in the ruins showing the prophecy describing a history of the future is the second slate. It shows Celestia, which is the island, which can be seen in game. And people have hypothesized that this is going to be one of the final areas we get to go to. Interesting, very exciting. And the Hydro Archon and her people worshiping it together, but the heavens still brought judgment down upon them. Judgment. Child being guilty?
That doesn't sound quite right. Let's think about this some more.
Oh, I'm thinking. Don't tell me I ain't thinking, Paimon. I'm trying to think. So, I guess because of that, primordial seawater is sealed off, which is a Maripede. What about Navi here? Fell into a water containing primordial seawater. Only... Possibly what happened. Maybe tea time with N? This is the last one. This one is the last one. The slate 5 is for sure going to be Farina being guilty by death. Or is it this one? It might be this one, actually. And then this one is prophecy will happen. The last one is tea time with N. And then this one is Farina. I like that. I like that. Hydro Archon is guilty and vulnerable via death.
Perhaps what is about to take place has all happened before. The true sin of the Hydro Archon that Nervilette mentioned, and the original sin cast down on the people of Fontaine by Celestia, as recorded on the stone slates.
I'm dabbing right. You're not seeing it because there's no face cam, but I'm dabbing IRL. The sentence never before passed in the court of justice. Okay, a sentence never before passed in the court of justice has been handed down to the Hydro Archon. Just what kind of sin merits such a verdict? The stone slate describe third slate, whatever. It shows the Hydro Archon sinking into the sea surrounded by many people. Navia falling in seawater?
It's not as simple as falling into the sea. When Navia fell into the sea, her consciousness was subjected to judgment. The stone slates show the people gathered around the Hydro Archon in the sea. Could that be alluding to the same thing?
While exploring the rune, Navia fell into the walking stage primary seawater. Yeah, and then people cast judgment. Yeah, so again, it's hard to talk about what was going on there. And then the last one, the scene, it shows a scene that is basically identical to that described in the prophecy circling throughout Fontaine. Fontainians will eventually be dissolved into the sea, and Hydro Archon will sit alone in her throne and weep. That has to be tea time with N. Fort me. Okay, well anyway, it's not tea time with N. It's child is guilty. Fart me. Alright, well we only have one option. The entrance to the primordial sea is sealed beneath Forbidden Zone. Only sealed by Nevertheless power. Don't know what this has anything to do with it, but it has something to do with it.
The prophecy from the stone slates found its way into society, but not many people believed it at first. The fortress of Meropide was nearly flooded with primordial seawater, which we know can cause Fontainians to dissolve. It seems increasingly likely that the prophecy may come true. If we hadn't dealt with it in time, things could have gone very badly.
Okay, that last one, okay.
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea, but won't cease to exist. Their essence will flow in the seawater, converge, and take the form of an oceanid.
Okay.
The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Perhaps this means that her sin was actually Fontaine's original sin.
Okay, so what, are we saying that she's a Hydro Archon now?
Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson in a court within her consciousness, and was forced to take part in a trial meant to make her stay.
But we saved her because if we save her, that means that we can sell her as a gacha character and make money.
The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meropide was the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass no matter what. The prophecy's contents can all be verified by recent events. If we combine what we know together, loads of truths should come to light.
Verification complete. Nice. I suppose. Now what?
Huh? Oh, Paimon gets it now! So that's how you can make sense of it. But then it feels like we're going to have to share some truly shocking revelations.
Let's hear them.
The first slate reveals that Fontainians are not real humans.
Incredible. Linny, did you hear that?
We're not real humans.
They're all fish people.
All Fontainians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon, with oceanids as their basis. The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontainians could dissolve in primordial seawater, and how all the girls Vacher dissolved were also turned turned into Oceanids. Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around for a trial. All of them in the shape of Oceanids.
Indeed.
The second slate reveals that the crime of the Hydro Archon was the creation of Fontanians from Oceanids.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that she probably angered Celestia by creating humans without prior permission. That could also explain why the Oratrice judged the Hydro Archon to be guilty. It's to account for that ancient sin.
The Hydro Archon's true sin was creating us?
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the Archon within the Opera Epiclese. The twists of history are often the most unexpected of all.
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creation have turned around to try to judge the Archon within Opera Epiclese. The twist of history. Yeah, so I guess the judge, we basically just... Our trial was basically useless because they just judged her or Farina as something that the previous Archon did. Also, we make fun of Kokomi for being fish person. Mate, all of Fontaine are all just fish people. Wait a minute. I'm trying to C6 a fish person? Is there Alekino fish? Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Are Oceanids fish? I'm gonna call them fish. As for the third slate, I'm still convinced that it should come after the fourth slate. Interesting.
Yeah, isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into the sea? So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy has been fulfilled in the fourth slate?
The fourth slate depicts the fulfillment of the prophecy as already widely known. Why do I still feel like this is the third slate? This is just the slate of people like banning against Farina like we did, essentially, and dunking on her. Dunking on her as in, like, you know, trialing her and stuff like that. Isn't that... Oh, I'm so confused. I thought that's what this was, not whatever this is.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away. Did Paimon get all that right?
I think so, I don't know.
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you still don't know, it is impressive that you've already managed to connect so many pieces of the truth. However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, they've also been etched with an additional layer of hidden information using a different power source. When we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information recorded in the slates. But since we only had 3 slates at the time, I was unable to come to a full conclusion. Now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make another attempt to decipher the narrative recorded within. If everything goes well, we should finally be informed of the unadulterated truth.
Well? Did you get it?
I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well. I will try to briefly summarize it for you.
Oh snap. This is gonna be good, right? Is it gonna be good?
Your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontainians and the sin of the Hydro Archon were both correct. In the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire to become of a similar kind. However, even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the 7, did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life. Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea. She poured primordial seawater into the Oceanids' blood vessels, creating humanoid mimics in the process. But if Fontainians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea. As a result, their forms would collapse, and they would be reverted to their original forms as Oceanids. Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first came into being.
So we were all Oceanids before we turned into human beings?
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend that I never heard a single thing. Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon be sentenced to death. After all, her only sin was creating us.
This really might be too much information for your regular Fontainian, but it does answer a lot of our questions.
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the third and fourth stone slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective positions are, in fact, correct.
Then what's the third slate supposed to represent then? Yeah, that's the question. That's the question, because I probably am representing it wrong, or interpreting it wrong, I should say.
A key point of the visual on the third slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids. They have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this slate is not water from the primordial sea. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of trials and justice. Instead of being the literal element, the water in the scene symbolizes judgment and justice. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others who intended to hold a trial to determine her fate. Therefore, the meaning of the third slate is that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of justice.
Okay, wait, isn't that what I said? Isn't that what I said? A group of people around Hydro Archon is like us dunking on her? I mean, us like giving her this trial? Isn't that exactly what I said? It can't be! I knew it! I didn't know it, but I had that line of thinking. I don't know if I was able to express it well enough that it came out through the video, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought the order of the slates made sense. Anyways.
Yes, it refers to our present situation.
I think I'm following now. So, what you're saying is, even though we decided to put on this trial to avoid fulfilling the prophecy, in truth, everything we've done has happened exactly as the prophecy foretold. So now, it seems, we're the ones making sure it comes true.
What should we do?
I don't know. N was right this entire time. They're a genius. It feels like there's no way out of this.
Huh. No matter what, the prophecy will be fulfilled. Is this what it feels like to be a prisoner of fate?
If that's the case, does that mean the scene in the fourth slate will also be fulfilled soon?
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fallacy in your deductions. About the fourth slate, you probably thought that the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of Meripede served as the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass, yes? However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could in fact only be a small warning of something far worse to come. As for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it once before.
The root cause of the catastrophe? I believe you've already encountered it once before. I have? Wait, could it be I have? Question mark? The ultimate proof. What is the true source of the catastrophe?
This eruption was just a small warning of the things to come. We must find the root cause of the disaster.
I have an idea. The root cause? No, I'm guessing it right now. Okay, these are good. It's her. It's her. It has to be her. The whale. Okay. Special preview. All right. Spoiler alert. You may have something to do with that. Meeting with the knave. During a diplomatic meeting with the knave, she revealed that she had already pro-Farina on her own beliefs. It's possible that's not only Farina, but she was affected with a curse. I think it's her. Verify.
That doesn't sound quite right. Let's think about this some more.
Okay, well, I try my best. The whale in the dream.
It was both dream and reality.
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that thing inside the primordial sea, right?
Yes, keep it going, keep it going. I have an auto.
The truth, the original sin, the trial, and the root cause of the disaster.
Wait, you're telling me that whale is the Hydro Archon? Is that what you're telling me? Like, I don't get it. Something not adding up to me right now.
That was way too close! How did that thing just burst into the Opera House? Wait, was that the huge whale you saw in your dream?
You know, I think it might be time to give Child back his vision, huh? Child, you need your vision back. You gotta kind of strip some powers out of you. I think you need your vision back. That's right. I'd wager that is also the one that Child saw when he was young.
So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it has chosen to make an appearance here. That whale does not belong to Teyvet. It is a monster that has traversed the stars, weeping all the while. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. That is the main cause for the rising sea levels. And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained within the sea, its next step will be...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontanians out of Oceanids, she filled their blood vessels with primordial seawater.
Precisely. That whale finds the blood of Fontanians nigh impossible to resist. Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of food. Food in the form of Fontanians.
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case, won't it come back to target the people again once it's managed to recover its strength?
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for buying us some time. Without him, the whale would have likely come onto land far sooner. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
That battle maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like this. Anyway, now that we know that this whale is the actual cause of the disaster recorded in the prophecy, all we need to do to stop the prophecy would be to find a way to beat it up, right?
It is too late.
All right. I get to intervene, right? I'll be honest, got here, guys. This is lame. Really? You mean the source of all bad things from Fontaine is literally aliens? Aliens. Like that meme, you know, the guy who's like, aliens? Aliens. That's what's been causing trouble in Fontaine. What's been causing the primordial seawater to, like, water levels to rise. Was because of this random whale. Really? That's... I mean, I can't be... Am I wrong to being incredibly disappointed that it's literally just aliens? It's just an external being, not from this world, that's causing the issues. I mean, I don't know why, but it just seems so lame, doesn't it? So lame. But also, yeah, I'm pretty sure Child has been fighting this thing for a long time, but I'm pretty sure that's like Child's main purpose in life is just to fight. So isn't he having like a really good time? Pretty sure he's having a great time in there. Like, not even joking. But nevertheless, says too late. What do you mean?
It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. At this point, it has become practically integrated with the sea itself. Even if the entirety of Teyvet were to be destroyed, it could still survive and swim off towards some other world.
That's not something I will accept. We've already done everything we can, and we even found the true culprit. We've come so far. You can't just tell me that the last hurdle is some impossible foe. That's just not fair.
Indeed, that's not how a grand performance should end.
I'll fight it to the end, no matter what.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
And is that you? Didn't we say that we should never lose hope? Isn't that what Frina said and N said?
The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
Yeah, that's what N is saying. After everything, it still turned out like this. We couldn't fight against fate. Wait, but if this is all about fate...
Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall?
Yes, it is called us, because we are not from this world, and we are also aliens. So the solution to aliens is aliens.
Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Teyvat's future. All you need to do is to play your part.
All you need to do is play your part. Yeah, like we're out here whale hunting at this point. Hey, whale hunting season. Could it be that even the prophecy will still be a way to save people? Did I miss something? Can't we just jump in there and start fighting? Wait, I forgot about Frina. What did she want to say to me that last moment in the giant magic box? What was her secret?
What's happening with the aura trees?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
No, I still need answers.
You...
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing. I couldn't help myself.
You are not Farina. Who are you?
Ah, the sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Focalor. You know, the god.
Focalor. Why did you deceive us?
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand any chance of deceiving the heavenly principles.
Deceiving the heavenly principles?
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be flooded. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon Egeria, for the uninitiated. It hardly gets more disastrous than a preordained national catastrophe, now does it? She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass. And as one of the seven, she also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized there was only one possible solution to this confounding conundrum. I had to outwit the heavenly principles, allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her successor. Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation, the quotidian duties of the Hydro Archon, and not to mention the original sin of creating a new race of humans, I dare say she left me quite a colossal mess to clean up. But one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids, transformed into a human by Egeria's hand?
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. In my eyes, to be human is to be part of the greatest opera ever known. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my past self on her first day as a human being. The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human counterpart I left behind, I named Farina. She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, or as meek and vulnerable as she wished. Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess, as were her shortcomings. But in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way. The person I always wanted to be. Anyway, so then I cursed her. All part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive the heavenly principles. Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? The Hydra Archon alone, weeping on her throne. In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to be an actress, to play the part of the Hydro Archon in the prophecy. Under the curse I placed on her, so long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she free to live her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the god from the prophecy, all to create a deceitful appearance of that prophecy coming to pass. I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese.
But Farina is only human, isn't she? Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure. It must have been torture for her.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form, I most definitely owe her an apology for it. It's been 500 years, and all along, she's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
Okay, like, what's happening? What? I came into contact with Farina's tears. If I remember correctly, tears often contain a being's strongest emotion or something. With sufficiently strong hydrosensitivity, I form a connection, just like I did with Ocean at the Fountain of Lucine. Wait, could this be Farina's inner world? Farina, what's she doing on stage? Wait a moment. That probably isn't Farina. It's okay. If you speak directly to the self, it might be easy to get what I wanted to know. I came here for answers. Either way, this opportunity is not be missed. Let me try talking to her. I mean, this literally happened to us in Inazuma, and this also literally happened to us in Sumeru. When we were like... this happened often. This has happened often. And also, it's a good time to stop if I wanted to. But I don't think we're that long into the video. We're 37 minutes in, about. Yeah, so the last thing we saw was Novelette out there, because the Orcrease whatever was exploding, and that's what he saw. And this is what we're seeing. Basically, the tear that Farina shed. This is what we're seeing right now. I think, right? Sure. What's good?
Oh, who permitted you to come onto this stage? Now, I understand your admiration for my august self, but I must ask you to keep to the rules.
Farina?
All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance.
Is the words up to her true thoughts? Is that what's going on? But I don't see an audience here.
Oh, do not jest. Can you not feel it? I am Focalor. The eyes of countless Fontanians are upon me. I must, at all times, display the utmost elegance and nobility.
I guess I should read this part up here. Something enough. There's no getting through her. Even if her heart's of heart, she's still playing the role of a Hydra Archon. What sort of resolve she in herself and subconscious would do impermeable defense? I have to find a way. Turn off spotlights. Can I fight in here? Oh, I can fight in here. You're getting blasted. Okay, anyways.
Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
These guys hurt. I should probably heal myself just to make sure I'm full health. If anything bad happens, you know, I should probably be prepared for full health and all that jazz. Okay.
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards? Guards! I'll protect us.
Okay, we're good there. Okay, that's it with the fighting? Alright. With all the spotlight off in Farina's heart, there must be symbolized the eyes of people on her. Speaking of which, I think I must receive some sort of signal. Was that her true voice? A ticket? Where did this end up? When did this end up here? Ooh, a golden ticket. Either way, it looks like the show is about to begin. In any case, show me how you truly feel, Farina. Scene 1, before the mirror, Farina. Before a mirror, Farina. Okay. Oh, I can only walk here. Okay. Am I gonna have to split this into another video, guys? I think I might need to split this into yet another video. We'll try to end this Farina scene here, and then maybe I'll end it after that.
Farina. Farina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am before you.
Wait a moment. You're mirror me? How can this be?
Mirror you, huh? You know what? That's not bad. Let's go with that.
Mirror me? What do you wish to say?
The prophecy. Have you heard of it?
What prophecy? Wait. I know. I think. I don't know why, but it's in my head somehow. The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Oh, very good. You know it well.
What's going on? I can't seem to remember anything clearly. The only thing I know for sure is this prophecy. Will it really come to pass?
Yes, it will. And that is why I've come to you. Disaster will come to Fontaine sooner or later. Things will develop just as the prophecy declared. There is no escaping it.
But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontainian just like them. Will I dissolve too?
Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precisely to give people a chance to turn things around. It is the reason why you met me today. I will tell you how to save everyone, but you may have to suffer somewhat.
Oh, so there's still hope after all. Goodness, you frightened me. You spoke so much and with so much certainty. As for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to mind was, why do I have to be the one to suffer? But if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? So if I've already met you as my magical meeting in this world, if there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side, and my pain on the other, is it not obvious where the scales should tilt?
You truly are the perfect human. My ideal. I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you.
Huh?
Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to play a role. That of the new Archon.
Play as a god?
That's right. You must begin a never-ending masquerade. You must never let anyone suspect your identity. If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy. But should your identity be revealed, then all hope will be lost.
But how will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god without being exposed.
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. You simply need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Being a human yourself, I'm sure you already know what such an entity would be like. Remember, your true challenge will not be pursuing divinity, but contending against humanity.
I'm still not sure I understand, but I'll try. I'll try to do this. So, how long am I going to have to play this role?
To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage for many, many years. You will endure and not grow old until your task ends. But I promise you, all will eventually end in a magnificent and dramatic trial, and everyone will be saved.
A trial, huh? How exciting. I'll be looking forward to it.
Scene 2, Ascension speech, Furina. A session speech. Okay, I think I'm finally getting it. This person we see right here, by the way, she lost her hair in that last scene. Don't know where it went. Or I should say the long part of her hair. This is not the Hydro Archon. This is a human named Furina, created by Focalors, which is actually a true Hydro Archon, I think. And so we're using Furina, human, as a scapegoat for the Hydro Archon until the prophecy ends. But we'll be able to save everybody. So I'm assuming that Focalors, that person that we just saw, is the one that's going to be saving everybody? And then we're just going to let the human Furina die or something? Right? Is that it? Did I get that correctly? I also really need to go pee-pee. And I also need to end the video soon. So let's hope this doesn't last too long. Maybe we'll do 1 or 2 more acts, but then I'll have to pee after this. So yeah, is that right? So Focalor is basically the person with the dress. Is the actual Hydra Archon, and it's the human that she created, Furina, to play as the Archon for the prophecy. But I'm still unsure what that means. Like, what are we supposed to do about the prophecy? I don't know about that. But I think that's how I'm interpreting it. Again, it's a bit confusing, but yeah, I don't know. That's how I'm interpreting it.
The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession, but this is my first time facing the people. What should I say to most appear like a god? To be honest, I still don't know. Perhaps I should first try to act natural.
So I'm encouraged.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the Opera Epiclese. I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. Indeed, I am Verena de Fontaine, your new Archon.
Also, this voice actress, oh my gosh, they have, I mean, it's basically just Raiden Shogun all over again. But like, yeah, not bad. You have to act as Furina, which is pretty difficult. You have to act as Focalors, which is pretty difficult. I'm assuming Focalors is the same voice actors. And then also you have to act as like non-flamboyant Furina, which is what we have right now. Oh my gosh. So much to work with. Or so much to do. So much different things that you have to work with. Appear earnest.
In truth, I know little about becoming a nation's new god, but it will be my honor to guide you all. As the god Focalor, the god of justice, I shall do all within my power to lead you into an age of fairness and justice.
Close politely.
Once again, Thank you all for coming. If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardinalise. The future of Fontaine will require us to work together, after all. This should do it. I thought I might stammer, but thankfully, I was able to convey my thoughts just fine. Okay, and next.
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a bit more assertive.
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest. What's the difference between her and an ordinary person, then?
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison-backed puppet.
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake? Oh, this is bad. If I get exposed here, there'll be no saving the people from the prophecy. Right. Mirmi said that I just need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Calm down, Farina. Think. What do the people want? How would they imagine a god to speak and act? Assertive, with a strong sense of presence. One who can dispel all doubt. That is the character I'm fated to play. Oh, very good, my people. Only ones such as you are deserving of my rule. Now, I was wondering if some weak puppet were to one day come onto the stage and claim ownership of this opera house, would the children of Fontaine follow them? Well, it seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you are qualified to witness wondrous trials alongside my august self, here in this opera house. You may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. I thought it was a debut that suited the atmosphere. Now then, let us be reintroduced.
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
Her personality. It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before.
Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful! Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned them around. Best follow this flow and restart my accession speech.
So do we summon courage again, or do we resolutely with conviction? Oh, we summon courage resolutely with conviction. Doesn't matter what we choose, the same option, huh?
My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, keep faith in your ardor for justice. We have heard it said that this nation's sins can no longer be washed away. Well, I say that justice is most fragrant when it blooms amid sin.
A bit earnest turn up drama. If we are pretty earnest, is it a bad thing? Let's try it out.
No, this won't work. They'll suspect me again. I must play the role that they want me to play.
Alright, my bad. Sorry. Turn up the drama.
The scales of justice should not weigh heavy in the hands of its god. On one side, it must carry fairness and justice. And on the other, praise and applause. May law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. Let us light the fires and drink to the future of Fontaine.
End the speech emphatically.
There is no trouble in this world that justice cannot solve. All that is needed is for you, my people, to believe in it, heart and soul. So long as I, the Archon Focalor, stand within the Opera Epiclese, so long as I stand before the Oratrice, I shall even judge the gods of this world!
Scene 3, Opera House, Farina. Wait, is this where we were now? Guessing? It was my bedroom. Okay, I'm gonna end this video here because 1, I think we still have a lot more to go with this Archon Quest. And 2, I need to go pee. Oh, we can run apparently. Okay, yeah, I need to go pee. And so we'll do that. But yeah, I guess a lot has happened this episode. We kind of found out what happened or what's going on with Farina. Doesn't seem like, I mean, there's a disconnect. She is definitely not the Hydro Archon. She needs to play the Hydro Archon for Focalors. Again, I'm not sure if they're 2 different beings or what's going on. I'm assuming that they're 2 different entities. Focalors being the actual Hydro Archon and Farina just being a human that Focalors created to play the role as a Hydro Archon. Again, I'm pretty sure that's what it's supposed to be. And yes, a lot of the issues stemming from this prophecy is happening because of a whale. Okay. Not because of Alekino. I thought it was Alekino, but no, apparently it's a whale. Man, my hypothesis would have been so good, but hey, that doesn't mean that Alekino can't come in at the end and do bad stuff. So I'm still thinking that that's possible, right? But indeed, yeah, it's we're getting into it, and yeah, it's kind of, I mean, I won't say I am kind of disappointed that they keep using the same tropes. The Archon isn't the Archon, right? It's always the same thing. With Mondstadt, you know, it was a discovery that Venti was the Archon, and Leeway again, it was a discovery that Zhongli was the Archon. In Inazuma, it was a surprise that Reina Shogun was a puppet and that she wasn't the Hydro Archon at all. And actually, A isn't even supposed to be the Archon. Her twin sister is just dead, and so she took up the mantle of Archon. That's what really happened, right? And for Sumeru, we literally forgot the entire existence of entire Archon, Greater Lord Rakudovata, and now we have Lesser Lord Kanasuli, right? So so they keep using the same trope of, oh, there's multiple different Archons. I would love to just have just one Archon. That person, Archon, we know that person Archon, but no, they keep changing it up. They keep changing it up, and I feel like it's starting to get pretty old, right? I was really hoping that this time we'll actually have our Archon. This is the Archon. This is them. Everyone knows that this is them. Very cool, but nope. Again, they did the thing. They did the thing that they've literally been doing every region, every version. They've done kind of the same thing where Archon. Oh wait, no, it's not. Oh, it is. It is not. It's, yeah, kind of getting old. I mean, you'd assume it gets old after the, I don't know, what's it? This the fifth time, the 6th time actually. Wait, yeah, it's like the 6th time or something. No, it's the 5th time, because we still have 2 more left. We have the fire, and then we have the ice Archon left, right? But anyways, that's just my thoughts. Very interesting, but obviously, yeah, pretty sad. Farina's got herself in a little bit of a pickle that, I mean, she couldn't really avoid. So that's kind of unfortunate. But anyways, those are just my quick thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. You're beautiful the way you are, and we'll continue. I want to say end, but I don't know if we'll end. We'll continue the Archon Quest next time. So yeah, see you then.